Hello guys, welcome to the HTML crash course for beginners. In this video, we will learn about the general structure of an HTML document. My name is Kafri and welcome to my channel mot.dev. Please subscribe, like and hit the bell icon to get notified whenever I release a content on the channel. With that said, let's get started. So for my setup over here, I just created a folder and then open it up in Visual Studio Code. So I'll just encourage you to create a folder of your choice and then open it in your Visual Studio Code. I'll go ahead and create a new file called index.html. Now, an HTML document has tags which serve as a basic guideline that you should always include in your website or in your web page. So I'll go ahead and write these tags for you and then explain them to you. So an HTML document must always have the DOCTYPE declaration, and it goes like this: angle bracket, exclamation mark, and then DOCTYPE. So you see that VS Code is giving me this auto completion with the help of the emit plugin. Now the next element or the next tag we should write is called the HTML tag, and then the HTML tag has its corresponding closing tag. Then in between that, I'll go ahead and write my head tag. Then in my head tag, I'll put in my title tag. Then below my head tag, I'll put in the body tag. Now let me go ahead and explain to you what this does. So as I said earlier, every HTML document must have this DOCTYPE declaration. This has no closing or ending tag. You should always include it at the top of your HTML file to make sure that your pages render properly. And it also signifies that this file is an HTML document. Now the next tag is the HTML tag. The HTML tag has what we call the language attribute, and then this specifies the language of the document. So in this case, I'm just using English. So there are other languages that you can specify here as well. Now in between the opening and closing tag of the HTML tag, we have our head tag. In the head tag, we can put in various or other HTML tags there, but the only one I'm putting for this example is the title tag, and this is where we put in the title of our website. So I'll just say my website as the title of my website and save. Now the next tag we'll look at is the body tag. In the body tag is where we put in the entire content of our website or the web page on which you are working on, and this will be displayed in the browser. So I'll put in the content that will be displayed for this index.html document. So over here, I'll just write hello world here. Write hello world quickly there. Good, and then save. So upon doing that, now how do we see whatever we have placed in the body of our HTML in the browser? And this is where the help of the live server plugin we installed in previous video comes in. So if you don't have it installed, just go ahead to the extension market, search for live server, and then it is this plugin. Since I have it installed, I don't have to install it again. If you don't have it installed, just click the install button, after which click the enable button to enable it. So since I have it installed, I won't do that again. I'll just go back to my file explorer, close this tab here. Now in order to render our HTML file in the browser, go to the bottom of your text editor here and you see this go live button. So when you see this go live button, click on it and let's wait for it. So upon doing that, live server will create a local server and then render our HTML in the browser for us. So it will render it in your default browser on your computer. So I don't know if you can see this. Let me zoom in. So you can see the hello world displayed in our browser as we wrote it in our HTML document. So I'll just go back. So that is it about the general structure of an HTML document. Now one may ask, does it mean that every HTML file we create or we want to write, we have to write this from the ground up? Even though we have auto completion, this seems to be a very difficult work, right? So in VS Code, we have an emit shortcut. So I'll just go ahead and create another file called about.html. So we have an emit shortcut, which is shift. When you press shift and then exclamation sign on your keyboard, you see this. When you click on it with your mouse, you see that it generates this dummy HTML document structure for you by default. So you can see that we have our doc type here, our HTML tag, our header tag, and then I told you earlier that in the header tag we put in various informations that will be useful for the browser. For example, SEO optimization and other elements or metadata, we can put it in the header tag that will be useful for the browser, but it will not be displayed in our HTML page, so in the browser. So this is where we put these meta tags, and then the title. So over here I can change this to the about page here, about page of my website, and then we have this body where I can just put in about page here and then save. So when I go ahead to my browser, let me just open up my browser and then navigate to about, change this to the about.html. So I'll just write it manually, about.html quickly. We see that we are on what? The about page. Or better still, you can render this with what? The live server. Just click on it to close the server or to stop the server from running, and then click on it back to what? Render it. So in this crash course, that's what we'll be doing. We will not write this structure out by hand. You just press shift plus exclamation sign on keyboard, and then it will generate, and then press enter to generate this structure for you, and then you can go ahead and then I'll say this is home page, and then start writing your HTML code. So when I go ahead, close this server and then run it again, we see it being rendered in our what? Browser as what? The home page. So that is it. That is all for this video. Please, if you have any questions, put them in the comment section for discussion. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.